Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. The name's Defender, and welcome to...
Crash Bandicoot 2. Cortex Strikes Back. Press start to begin.
Developed by Naughty Dog and released for the Sony Playstation in 1997. Crash Bandicoot 2 is unsurprisingly the sequel to the first Crash Bandicoot, and in my opinion, when the series started actually becoming good. If you're new to the series, don't play the first one. Start with Crash 2.
Crystals. Of course.
But Dr. Cortex, to reach full power, we need not only your master crystal, but also the remaining 25 slave crystals from the surface. How do you expect to retrieve them when we don't have any Earthbound operatives left?
You fool! Do you think I'm unaware of the situation? If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we need to find an enemy.
Crash? Crash? Crash! My battery is fried. Make yourself useful, big brother, and bring an extra battery for me.
Alright. I could use the exercise anyway. Alright, so this is an intro stage, which was not in the original Crash Bandicoot. But as you might even be able to see just from me moving around, they really tightened up the controls in this game. And they also added a bunch of other new moves that you can do. So with the circle button, you can now crouch and crawl. But more importantly, if you do this while moving, you'll slide. And even more importantly, if you jump while sliding, you'll perform a slide jump, which sends you higher and farther than a standard jump. You're going to be seeing me use it a lot because it's really good. You can also do this from a standstill, but just by crouching, but that's not quite as useful. Uh-oh. What is this place?
Well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot, welcome. I apologize for the crude means used to bring you here, but I rather expect a written invitation would have been turned down. I need your help. Surrounding you are a series of 5 doors. Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal. The crystals look like this. Bring me the crystals, Crash. That is all I will say for now. We will speak again.
Alright then, well, it's not like we really have much of a choice in the matter, but this is the Warp Room. Instead of going in a stage-by-stage progression like the first Crash Bandicoot, you actually have a series of stages you can choose from, in any order you want. You do have to do all of them in order to progress through the game, but, you know, you have choices. Also, you have a save wall, meaning you can now save and load your game whenever you want. And you don't have to worry about collecting a gem or completing a bonus stage to save your progress. You know, like a real video game. There's the art. Oh, look at that. Just enough spaces. That's what we like to see. I always feel bad for people with long names and like these name entry things, because it's like, well, you can't just put the whole name, because, you know, the developers weren't considerate enough. Totally not sus on that? Yeah, definitely not suspicious. I mean, it's not like the game is subtitled Cortex Strikes Back. Anyway, let's just go into the first stage. Turtle Woods. Okay. Now you're probably just wondering, well, Defender, why did you walk past that box? I mean, it was nice and prominent. Why would you do that? There's a reason for that, but we gotta get to the end of the stage for me to show that to you. But yeah, if the first Crash Bandicoot really didn't sell you on the experience, and I don't blame you if it didn't, start with Crash 2. Trust me, if you thought Crash 1 was okay or even bad, Crash 2 will fix pretty much every problem that you had with it. I mean, if you don't like the core concept of it, then, you know, really none of the Crash games are going to change that for you, but, you know, if Crash 1 feeling old was the problem, don't worry. Crash 2 feels much more modern in comparison. Gotta be careful. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can sequence break this. Oh, look at that. Pro gamer. Excuse me. Oh, yes! Okay, can I get the third one? Nope. Okay, so basically in these pits, you're expected to defeat these rats? Gophers? In order to create a mushroom, which will let you bounce out of the pit. But as you can see, I was able to slide past the sides. Okay, so in this stage, if you don't break any boxes and reach the end of the stage, you'll earn one of the colored gems, the blue gem. Very shiny. The game would represent this by, once you collected the clear gem, if you go through the stage again, you'll get a box tally that shows you, like, however many boxes you broke out of 0. And that's actually another thing. This game has a box tally at the end of the stage to show you how many boxes the stage has and how many you've broken. And also in your HUD, you can see how many boxes you've broken. Now, I'm about to do what's called a pro gamer move, and die. Now, your other question will probably be, well, why did you do that? You keep any important objects you collect, crystals or gems, when you die. So now we can just go through the stage normally and break all the boxes. This just basically prevents us from having to re-enter the stage in order to collect more stuff. And you're going to be seeing me do that a lot throughout this game. And unlike in Crash 1, I am going for 100% in this because, well, first of all, 100% is much easier to get in Crash 2. And secondly, it's also fun. Which is the most important part. Getting 100% in Crash 2 is actually fun. Alright, so we got ourselves a little secret here. There's another new skill that we can use called a body slam. Jump and press circle, and if you do it on this, you'll bash right through and enter the secret area. Yeah, Crash 2 is packed with secrets, which is actually something that the original Crash kind of lacked. There's a lot of secret pathways, alternate level exits, there's lots of stuff. But some of it's pretty obscure, but I'll show you where it all is. Get these turtles out of the way. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You can also collect gems in this game without dying. Because in the first Crash, that was a requirement. You had to complete the stage without dying in order to get a gem. There is still something that requires you to not die in order to actually activate, but it's much more forgiving than what it was in the first game. Should just be able to slide. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Okay, so these big ostriches will immediately duck their heads into the ground when you land on their backs, so be sure to jump quickly. And they won't come back up, so you only got one shot. And also, this is the only time in the game where these ostriches appear. It's very strange. Ah, this is a nitro detonator. Those green boxes that you saw before are called nitro crates. Unlike the TNT crates, which will explode instantly if you spin attack them, but you can safely jump on them to arm their fuses, nitro crates will explode instantly if you so much as brush your foot against them. So don't touch them. You can detonate them safely by using those nitro detonators. Ah, this is a bonus platform. Unlike in Crash 1, you don't need to collect tokens in order to enter a bonus stage. Also, unlike the bonus stages in Crash 1, boxes do count to your tally in order to collect the gems, so make sure you break all of them. Let's see, are there any other major changes from Crash 1 to Crash 2? I mean, Crash handles way better, but that should go without saying. Like, he's nowhere, he doesn't feel like he weighs 5 million tons this time, and he has way more air control. He also doesn't, like, slide forward when you stop moving on the D-pad, so that helps a lot. Use this turtle as a springboard to hit this box, get another life. But yeah, if you heard me be, you know, kind of on and off on my opinion on Crash 1, my opinion on Crash 2 is pretty obvious. I love this game. And there's the regular gem. And we've collected all 3 items. So now we don't have to re-enter the stage. Now that's efficiency right there. Oh, that's right, how could I forget? Crash 2 introduces the most important part of Crash Bandicoot. The Crash Dance. Classic.
Well done, Crash. I knew I could rely on you. Now listen carefully. These holograms are hard to maintain. During the course of my intellectual pursuits, I have stumbled across a force that threatens to destroy the world. Crystals are the only means of containing it. The fate of the world is at stake. It is imperative, therefore, that you bring them to me.
There, Crash? Crash! Crash! Are you there, Crash?
Well, good thing Crash is an idiot, otherwise, we wouldn't go along with it, because Cortex is doing a very bad job of hiding his, ulterior motives. I also like how the, yeah, above the stages you can see the indents to tell you what you're still missing in a stage, which is a neat touch. I like that. Let's just go into the next stage. Snow Go. Which is a snow stage, as you probably could have guessed. Alright, so let's just turn invincible, because I like turning invincible. Unlike in the first Crash Bandicoot, I don't think you get a speed boost when you turn invincible this time. Maybe you do, and it's just much more subtle, but, I couldn't tell you. You got penguins. How can you hate penguins? I think it's actually physically impossible to hate penguins. And if there is someone who hates penguins, you need to immediately distance yourselves from that person immediately, because they are probably a psychopath. Ah, the red gem. Now, I've seen some, you know, like speedrunners and stuff. There's actually a way to glitch get that gem without, you know, doing the thing you're supposed to do, but I'm not good enough, so we'll just have to get that gem the old-fashioned way. But yeah, that's supposed to be like a little hint as to, oh, how do I get that? And to kind of clue you in that, hey, maybe there's some secrets in other stages. Also, we've got ice. Everyone's favorite platforming mechanic, slippery ice physics. I will admit, I usually don't have much of a problem with ice physics in games. I mean, it depends on, like, how severe the ice physics are. I mean, if every time you step on the ice you turn into, like, a pinball or something, then we got a problem. But, I don't know, it's just, I've never had as much difficulty as other people have had. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've died to it plenty of times, You know, I've died to everything. I'm experienced at the art of dying in needlessly brutal ways. Could you imagine if, like, you put that on your resume or something? I am very good at dying. Would that make you more or less hireable? I guess for one thing, it would mean your insurance premiums would skyrocket. All right, and that's a gem. Easy peasy. Yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't stream on Saturday this week. I had a rough week in general. I'm still working through something. Like, it's not serious, but I'm just trying to, like, put it out of my head, because that's really the only thing that's gonna help right now. Oh, hello. Other floating hologram.
So, you were helping Cortex gather crystals, yet you have acquired a gem. Interesting. Well, Crash, know this. As long as you are allied with Cortex, you are my sworn enemy, and I will do anything in my power to stop you! If the fate of the world is truly your concern, you must gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. A laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he's created. Until then, I must use my forces to stop you from gathering.
Huh, alright, well, you know, if the game wasn't subtitled Cortex Strikes Back, we might actually have an interesting dilemma on our hands. Do we trust Cortex or Brio? But, you know, the game basically tipped its hand on the box, so, you know, meh. Alright, let's hang 8, shall we? Alright, so we got the upstream kind of stages from the first Crash, but just more radical. At least if the music is anything to go by. This stage will also introduce us to another classic Crash mechanic, the jet board. Oh, we got a time limit. But yeah, this time limit actually only appears in 2 stages, I think. If you make it to the end of the stage before the time runs out, you'll get a gem. I'm gonna break this checkpoint box, just a little bit of a safety measure. Give me that. Oh, I'm not sure why I broke the checkpoint box. Oh well. Because now I can't do my death strategy of warping back. No, I'm just gonna tank the hit. Take that hit. Come on. I'm not gonna make it. It's gonna disappear right in front of my eyes. Well, I got the crystal, so I'll at least leave to get the crystal. And then we'll have to go back in. That stinks. I think I wasted too much time at the beginning, because the timer actually ticks down as soon as you, like, enter the stage. Oh, hold on, more plot.
3 crystals. Not bad. I see you are getting the hang of it. I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
Okay. Whatever you say, Melonhead. Alright. Let's go much faster this time. Should just be able to slide jump that, yep. Oh, yeah. And this time, let's not break any checkpoint boxes. Whoops. There we go. Jump over that. Excuse me. Not interested in observing the carnivorous wildlife today. Yeah, this should be enough time. Yeah, you can press the circle or square button while you're on the jet board to boost. Just be careful, you lose a lot of control while you're doing it. That's much better. Alright, now it's time for a swim. Really, Crash? You can't, like, paddle yourself while you're on your back or something? Oh, I broke that checkpoint. Okay, that one's fine. Okay. Now you just go through the stage normally. The music in these kind of stages really gives off like a surfer vibe. Which I guess makes sense, you know, you're on a jet board, which is like a surfboard with a motor on it. Has anyone here ever actually been surfing? I can say that I have not. I just don't live near the ocean, which, you know, makes surfing hard. There we go. Okay. Also, bonus stages act as checkpoints, so if you die after clearing a bonus stage, you'll go back to the checkpoint. Okay, so, as you can see, this is a blue gem platform. Gem platforms will only appear if you have the corresponding colored gem in your possession. And unlike in the original Crash Bandicoot, they don't act as, like, stepping stools. They actually teleport you to different parts of the stage. Also, alternate stage paths have a more intense version of the regular stage music, and this one in particular is sweet. Now we actually gotta go back. There we go. Remember, while surfing, always watch out for aqueous mines. That's always a surfer's greatest hazard. It's not, you know, getting riptide or a whirlpool or anything like that. It's mines. Then again, I feel like that would be the hazard for, you know, most people. Hit that. Alright, and it takes us back here. Oh, whoosh. This place is dangerous. It's almost as if it was designed to be like that. Yeah, that should be all the boxes. Look at that. And yes, I will let the crash dance play out every time because it is glorious. And you all deserve to see it as much as possible. Let's go to the pits. Oh, right, I should have playtested this stage, because I always forget, because this stage has a branch in it. Which, ooh, I do like the Aku Aku mask. Just jump on this vulture. By the way, you can get rid of the turtles by jumping on them and then spinning them away, but they usually don't get in your way, and they're also, because of the spikes, it's harder to jump on them, so, you know, or it's more risky, it's riskier, but it's not risky if you're invincible. Also, some of the turtles have saw blades on their back, which you can just spin attack. Okay, I think you're supposed to go left first. I really hope it's left, otherwise I'm gonna look like I don't know what I'm doing. Which, don't get me wrong, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, but I would like to think this is one of the times that I do know what I'm doing. Yes. I chose correctly. Because we need to smack this, which will make boxes on the right side appear. Great. We got the crystal. Okay, so this is where the forking paths rejoin. So now we gotta backtrack against the camera. Which, thankfully, the first Crash Bandicoot didn't make you go against the camera very much, but they do it much more here, and I will admit, that is a sore spot of this game, because, well, you can't move the camera. It moves automatically, so, you know, it's only programmed to really look forward, so if you're moving back, you know, things like that happen. But generally, I found if you just take things slow, you minimize the chances of falling and dying. Because it's usually the bottomless pits that are what are gonna kill you. There we go. Okay, now we go down the right path. I mean, if you thought that was bad, then just wait until we get to some of the later stages. You will be shocked by what they do. I will say, well, this game is definitely easier to 100% than the first Crash Bandicoot because, you know, I'm not constantly on the verge of having a stroke with every single jump. Because of the, you have to clear every stage without dying. I will say, there are definitely some stages that, really push the envelope and that kind of thing, and they really make you do some pretty out-of-the-way things in order to collect gems. Alright, can I skip this one? Yes. Ah, this is a new kind of box. This is a reinforced crate. You'll need to body slam it to break it. Oh yeah, this. Okay. Jump on each of these. No, don't jump into the pit. Thankfully, failing a bonus stage does not cost you a life. It also doesn't count for something that I will explain later, once we actually get to it. But I am not counting that as a death. I mean, this is not going to be deathless. Believe me. I wish it would be, but it's not going to be. Okay. Jump on each of these once. There we go. Alright, so back across, there was another transparent box. So now we need to jump on the first and third so that we can get back to here. And collect those 2 delicious extra lives. And then use the last one to get back. Yeah, and unfortunately, if you die in a bonus stage with an Aku Aku, you lose him, which is unfortunate. I kind of wish there was, like, you know, a coat hanger or something that when you go into a bonus stage, you could just, you know, put him on, and so even if you you die in the bonus stage, you get to keep Aku Aku. If they ever make Crash 5, that's what they should do. I think that would be nice. Just a nice quality of life improvement. Yeah, there's really not much development information to talk about in this game. I mean, it did come out 1 year after the original Crash Bandicoot, so, you know, that's a pretty fast project turnover, but, you know, I think the end result was pretty good. Ah, but we have ourselves another boulder chase. You know, the Crash classic. Also, I like how in this game, Crash actually looks behind him. It's just a nice animation detail. It doesn't actually do anything, but it looks neat. Oh yeah, sometimes Crash will roll into like the safe areas. Again, totally useless, but it's just a nice touch. I will say, the first game's soundtrack was certainly not bad, but it was more atmospheric than... Oh, okay, interesting. But the first game soundtrack was definitely more atmospheric than this one is. This one is definitely more bombastic, more melodic, and therefore more memorable. Okay, so this bridge thing. I want you to remember this. Put it in like a little pocket in your brain and like the back of your head. Because I'm going to reference that again later. People who have played this game before probably will know where I'm going with this. Oh, look at that. Precision elimination. Sorry, it's time for more intense mental arithmetic. Last one. There we go. I just love hearing the sound of all the Wumpa fruit going into my tally. These are boosters. If you run over them, you'll sprint forward uncontrollably. But thankfully, they're all put in places to that won't lead you directly into a pit, which is very nice of the game developers. Oh, that's not nice. Well, that's my first death. I was hoping I could at least get out of the first warp room before that happened, but it is what it is. Actually, no, that was my first unintentional death. Let's go with that, because I already forgot. Oh, I've intentionally died a few times. Oh boy. Alright. And I got the gem. And that's the first warp room cleared. That was pretty smooth.
Listen up. We are not without enemies. Some of them you may even recognize. Although they cannot harm you inside this warp room, they can attack you on your way to the next way. To get to the next warp room, use the platform that appears in the center of the room. Good luck.
Okay, so what Cortex was telling us was boss fights. They are still a thing. You'll fight them at the end of every warp room. Yes, save my progress. We're already at 17%. Wow. Just like the first Crash Bandicoot, this game is not very long. In fact, none of the original trilogy are very long, especially if you're just going for the ending, just, you know, to get the crystals. Alright, but here's our first boss. It's Ripper-Roo! Unlike in the first fight with him in the first game, we're playing defense this time. He was playing defense last time. So we just need to avoid him hopping around generating TNT and nitro boxes. Then when he stuns himself, just whack him. It's an interesting idea, but because the patterns of where he jumps are always the same, you know, it's really just a game of memorization. And really, you just need to stay to the bottom of the screen. Like, there's really never a point where you need to go up top, which is really a shame. Like, it's an interesting idea, executed marginally. I do like how, if you manage to collect all the gems in the first Crash Bandicoot, you get, like, an epilogue, and Ripper-Roo went back to get his degree, basically. So yeah, this whole professor thing is canon. I'm about to blow up. No, I'm not. I've managed the greatest save of existence. You're welcome. And we win. Yeah, I like the idea of that fight more than the execution.
I see that Ripper-Roo failed to prove much of a challenge yet again. But back to business. There are crystals to be gathered, 20 to be exact. The planets will align shortly, all 13 of them, and this will create a power great enough to rip the Earth apart. Properly utilized, however, the crystals can absorb and contain the energy.
Crash, is that you? I've been looking everywhere. I don't have much time to tell you this. You have to be careful. Trusting Cortex seems a little unwise. Crash, I can't keep the data path open this longer. Crash, you need to...
I'm sure that wasn't important. Also, I guess if this is your first Crash Bandicoot, you might be wondering who that is. That is Coco Bandicoot, Crash's sister. I guess here is a development story. In the original Crash Bandicoot, the female Bandicoot was Tawna Bandicoot, Crash's girlfriend. However, after the first Crash Bandicoot was released, the executives at Universal were very unhappy with her because they felt her design was not appropriate for a game for children. So she was effectively written out of the series. You know. The more you know, I guess. I just saved. Let's see. Let's not go in numerical order this time. Let's go to Air Crash. Because this will actually introduce us to two important things about the series. Or about the series. This game. Sorry, again, that was my brain moving faster than my mouth. Gonna hit this. Okay. So, if you get on the jet board, I'll basically just show you. if you jump on the boxes, well, not like that. But this is why I hit the checkpoint. If you jump on the boxes, this is going to be the hardest thing in the whole game, isn't it? I'm going to be here for hours. Okay. Jump. There we go. If you land on this platform, you'll find a secret exit. Yes, there are, in the game, 5 secret exits. 3 of them lead to alternate entrances to previous stages, while 2 of them lead to brand new stages. So as you can see, we can now enter Snow Go. But, not from where we would begin normally. Watch out for the snow porcupines, because as we all know, porcupines love the snow? For any zoologists out there, are there like Arctic variations of porcupines? Like those that appear in cold weather? Don't worry, because we already picked up the regular gem on this path, there are no boxes to break. Or at least no boxes that you would want to break. Yummy. Let's see. I guess another thing I could talk about is my opinion on the Insane trilogy. I know I brought it up a little bit. Oh, I'm about to turn invincible. In the first Crash Bandicoot, but I will say that the first Crash Bandicoot benefits the most from the Insane trilogy improvements and that kind of thing, because, you know, it is the first game. It makes sense that it would benefit the most. But honestly, I would say that the Insane trilogy version of Crash 1 is really the only one that's worth playing. Crash 2 and 3 still hold up just fine in their original forms. I mean, if the graphics were a problem, then, you know, go with the Insane version. But, in my opinion, I think the originals still play better. They just feel better. Let's see. According to the Alaska Department of Fish and Game on porcupine research, porcupines are found throughout much of North America, from the deserts of the Southwest to the Arctic. Okay. So it's actually not... Okay, interesting. It's also interesting that apparently there's an entire department on porcupine research, but then again, you know, we have departments for, like, just the most unnecessary of tasks. So, I guess it doesn't really surprise me. And I mean, you know, you get to study porcupines in the porcupine department. That's better than, like, the Department of Redundancy department. Who wants to be stuck there? It's like people who say ATM machine. Automatic teller machine. But anyway, we got the red gem after that weird tangent. You never know what you're gonna get in a Defender stream. It's like a box of chocolate that sat in your hot car for a month, and now it's all melted into like one puddle of chocolate. That's appetizing, right? Okay, so now that we have the red gem, let's see, what stage do I want to do first? You know what? Let's keep doing Air Crash. Let's do the stage normally this time. I must say, I really do like my new office chair. I'm like all ergonomic and stuff. Watch out, world. My spine is now curved correctly. You stand no chance. Alright, this stage thankfully doesn't have like a timer in it, so you know, you can just take your time. But we want to be very careful, because as I was saying before our first warp out of the stage, using the secret warp, this stage introduces another mechanic that has kind of become a staple. The power of correct spine posture. It makes me feel more virile and powerful. this. I want to be very careful here. Yeah, it's gonna sink. That's fine. You know what? We'll take the bonus. I mean, you could just jump across, but seems a little dangerous. Besides, I got golden Aku Aku. I don't want to throw that away. Ugh. That jump always makes me nervous. Alright. Oh, not you. I remember this box. Whew. Alright. Get the crystal. Okay. This is the part I wanted to talk about. This Skull and Crossbones platform leads to the charmingly named Death Route. If you make it to this part of the stage without dying once, the platform will appear. So we're gonna get on it. Death routes, as you can probably guess, are much harder than normal routes and also lead to more gems. Also sometimes more boxes for a regular gem. So this is how things get more complicated. Sometimes you might need to take both the regular route and the death route in order to obtain a stage's box gem. Alright, we need to wait here. Let's see, thankfully I don't think this death route has any boxes to break. There we go. Got a little slowdown there. Alright. We got the gem, but we still need the box gem, so... Bloop. Alright. Nope, we've already collected the boxes from the bonus, which is good. Ah, that's another thing about these platforms. If you manage to board the Death Route platform, it will become permanently locked. What this means is that even if you die, like, in the Death Route, and then you die on the way back to the Death Route trying to get to it, it'll stay there. So you don't have to worry about, you know, dying on the way back. Which is actually something that we will use in a later stage to save us a great deal of trouble. See, this is the thing that I like about streaming. I don't know, I just like showing off all these, like, the little minutia of games. All the little stuff. I don't know, I just think that's interesting. It's also why I try to make sure I have things to talk about, like game development and history and that kind of stuff, because I just think that stuff's neat. Man, these are some tight jumps, let me tell you. Alright. Excuse me. Over the... excuse me, ramp. I was about to say over the hill, but that is definitely not a hill, that is a ramp. Oh! That's right. I forgot. You can't collect the regular gem here right now. That's alright, I got the Death Route gem. That's fine. Well, I knew there was something that I was gonna forget. Oh well. Alright, let's go here. Barrett. So, you remember the animal riding stages from the original Crash Bandicoot? Well, instead of a feral boar, we're at a cute baby polar bear. While you're riding the little polar bear, whose name is Polar, you can press the circle button to surge forward. This will let you move faster and jump higher and farther. If there's any place you're gonna see me die a lot, it's in these, because, you know, I want to collect the box gem. And because I can't go back in these stages, well, you know, there's only one way to go back. And that's by dying. Who put all these statues here? It makes no sense. Oh, bloop. Alright, let's try that again. Oh. That doesn't seem correct. I think it would be really funny if, like, you know, if I got knocked into the water there and then I froze. Because, you know, normally that would put me in the snow, but, you know, it looked like it put me in the water. There we go. Whoa! Alright. Gonna break this and get a gem. Alright, that was easy enough. Okay. Let's go Crash Crush. Once again, this is going by very quickly. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I guess that's just what happens when you're just the best at this game. I mean, I am not the best. I'm pretty good, though. Again, I know I said this in, like, when I was streaming Crash 1, but when the Insane Trilogy version came out, man, I was watching people die to just the easiest things. And, like, I get it. If you never played the game before, you know, you're gonna have a hard time. That's just how it works. But it's like, people were making just, like, mistakes that a 3-year-old wouldn't make. And it's like, have you even played a video game before? I don't know, it's just, again, I grew up with these games, so, you know, there's probably a little bit of elitism in there, but it's also, like, you know, just making rudimentary mistakes. And not just that, over and over and over again, dying in the exact same spots without, like, you know, making any kind of progress whatsoever. That's partially why I avoid playing games blind, because, well, you know, if you're playing a game for the first time, that's what a lot of it is, just, you know, games like this dying over and over again. And that's okay, but, like, you know, if you're watching someone do it, you know, after a while, it just becomes kind of hard to watch. At least in my opinion. I also don't play games blind, because that makes me immune to backseating. What was that boost? That was no boost at all. No boost for you. All right, bonus. I will take all of this Wumpa fruit, even though lives are just as plentiful as they were in the first Crash Bandicoot. Collecting still just makes my monkey brain feel good. Monkey brain likes seeing numbers go up. release happy chemicals. All right. That takes care of that. I'll take that. Oh, that's kind of cruel. Alright, so apparently the developers did decide to put a boost in a bad spot. Uh-oh, oh boy, let me in. There we go. Give me the gem. Okay, so the final stage... Oh, we forgot to do Snowbiz. Whoops. Oh well. Let's just keep going. Let's do the Eel Deal, which leads to everyone's favorite, most picturesque, platforming location, the sewers. You do, however, get this sweet pipe solo. And these, like, scrubbing bubble robot cleaners? Not exactly the most intimidating of bad guys, but, you know. Oh yeah, and sometimes some of the water will become electrified, which will give you a nasty shock. Let me tell you, I've been electrocuted before. It doesn't feel great. It also doesn't feel great in the way that I was electrocuted, because, you know those, like, tennis racket-looking bug zappers? Yeah, 10-year-old me didn't know that it was electrified, and I thought, oh, it's my, one of my relatives' tennis rackets, you know. When I grabbed the mesh, boy, that was a mistake. Ooh. Okay, so the lava fruit clearly wants us to go left, but rule number 78 in the Adventurer's Handbook: if you're being led a certain direction, go the other way first. Okay, so you see all these nitro boxes? They're hiding something. I'm not sure, I guess by the indication of, you know, just how many nitro boxes there are, why would they put them all here? You can actually walk through this, which leads to a secret path. And at the end of the path is the green gem and the dead end. So we will have to backtrack. Now normally I would just die to get there faster, but I've got a golden Aku Aku. And Aku Aku masks are going to be much harder to come by in later stages, so I'm going to try to hold on to this as long as I can. Plus, you know, I'd have to electrocute myself 3 times in order to escape, and, you know, it's not quite as convenient as just jumping down a hole. Alright, we're back. These hideously mutated mice. Alright, it's bonus time. I want all that Wumpa fruit. I don't feel like bouncing on these, he says as he bounces one anyway. Alright, now this time we actually need to violate Adventurer's Rule number 78 and follow the path that did have all the stuff down it. Man, that's gotta hurt body slamming onto you know, like a steel grate or something. Thankfully, Crash has no moving parts in his head, so, you know, no possible harm can be done. Avoid going down there for the moment. This introduces us to a new mechanic, monkey bars. Thankfully, you can still spin while you're on them, but you know, you can't like jump to avoid things, and you do move a little slower. While you're on the monkey bars, you can also press the circle button to pull your legs up. This will really only be useful one time, but it will be necessary that one time, so, you know. Just, again, tuck that into, like, the back pocket of your brain. Got the gem. I will say, this game definitely does a better job of giving you the colored gems, usually before you need them. Not always, but usually beforehand. Okay, let's go into Snowbiz, finally. There's no business like snow business. Oh, look at the penguins sliding on their tummies. Unfortunately, they're sliding right towards me, so I have to destroy them. Checkpoint. Oh, if I could have gotten away, I could have gone invincible. Just wait those spines out. Thank you. Bye-bye. Alright, so as you can see, we have the red gem platform here. That's why I wanted to go to Air Crash before Snowbiz. I almost said Snow Go, but that is the stage in the first warp room. We'll just wait that out, I think. There we go. So, what's your opinion on, like, snow in general? I do like snow, but I found that, you know, as I'm moving into the workforce and that kind of stuff, I hate driving in it, and I hate shoveling it off my driveway, so... Honestly, I would say that I have a overall negative opinion of snow. Like, I like snow, I just don't like dealing with snow. Also, I think another problem of it is that, both because, you know, I'm working now, and also because of, like, the move to just, you know, remote learning, that snow days are gone forever now, basically, and that saddens me considerably. I mean, I haven't had a snow day in years, but it's like, it's the principle of the matter, you know? Snow is pretty, I do agree with that. I also will say that I prefer cold to heat. Because Because, like, you can layer up in the cold. There's a point where, you know, no matter how hard you try, you can't unlayer the heat. As a teacher who lives in a place that doesn't get snow days already, snow days are a luxury we don't get normally either. That is unfortunate. Oh yeah, I guess I should discuss the mechanics of these crushers. The ones that look like stone, they will only crush down when you get underneath them, so just don't stand underneath them for too long. All these bridge planks will fall away. The ones that are logs are on a cycle, so, you know, you just need to time your run past them. Those icicles will fall. See, it seems like everything around here is trying to kill us. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, as you can see, there was no gem on that path, so this was just purely for boxes. But, you know, we need boxes to get gems. There we go. Ah, checkpoint, thank goodness. Huh? Ah, but now they're introducing ice physics into the crushers, so that'll make things more interesting? Alright, into the bonus room. Thud. So, who here has played Crash 2 before? Because, like, as I'm hoping that I'm demonstrating, I'm very familiar with the original Crash trilogy. I actually went in a backwards order when I was a kid. I started with Crash Bandicoot 3, then I went to 2, and then I went to 1, so, you know, the opposite of what should have been done. But, you know, when the first Crash Bandicoot game came out, I was 2 years old, so, you know, it's a little hard to play video games when you're 2 years old. I mean, I'm guessing it's not impossible, but it's like, it's not easy. If I could play video games when I was 2 years old, I certainly would have no clue what I was doing. Ah, there's a gem. Not I, never played any Crash Bandicoot. It's fair. I mean, to be fair, Crash is really only in recent... He's only been around for, like... That's the interesting thing about his history. Like, from the 90s to, like, the mid-2000s, you know, he had a presence. Then he just fell off the earth until the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy in 2017, and now he's kind of having a resurgence. Also, more plot.
10 of 25 crystals. You're on your way. I'm running low on power, so communication from this point will be difficult. Again, be wary of the pathways between warp rooms. Remember, I'm counting on you.
Okay, so before we move on, there's actually a secret in this warp room. Little baby polar bear, Polar. If you jump on his back 10 times... he'll give you 10 lives. And you won't ever be able to do that again. So don't ever do that again. Okay, so let's save progress. 35%. We're moving up in the world. Poor polar bear. Yeah, I know. Okay. Next warp room. But first, another boss fight. These smug scimitar-wielding slugs are the Komodo brothers, Komodo Mo and Komodo Joe. Komodo Joe is the thin one, who once he gets dizzy, you'll spin him into Komodo Mo. This boss fight is pretty darn easy, just move in a circle. For whatever reason, this is also the only fight in the game where, if you don't have Aku Aku beforehand, the game will give you him. Ooh, I never knew about that trick. Also, hello, Pug. We are glad to have you here. You're just in time to watch us mop the floor with these losers. Because, you know, I'll admit, boss fights have never been this series' strong point. Though in the last hit, Komodo Mo will actually chuck scimitars at you, which actually makes this a little difficult. He'll also chop you if you get too close, but, you know, you generally don't want to get too close to people wielding scimitars in the first place, so, you know. Good life advice. But yeah, that is a easy peasy fight. But how goes things? Well, actually, I kind of already know how things go. I hope things get better. This is the third warp room, which is a sewer. Lovely. Also more plot.
Good show, Crash. The Komodo brothers obviously lacked your mettle. But now is not the time to get cocky. There are still many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
Okay, so let's save. I like how you don't even get any percent for defeating a boss. This is like a special kind of insulting. Like, you're so insignificant to the progress of the game that the player doesn't even get a percentage point for defeating you. I will say, Crash 4 boss fights were a significant improvement, at least in my eyes. Oh yeah, those fights are good. Start with plant food. Which, as a kid, I always thought was planet food, but that's because, you know, I was blind and couldn't read. Alright, so this is another stage that has an invisible timer on it. So we gotta move fast. We have to accelerate rapidly. Not gonna hit the checkpoint. Unfortunately, you cannot go invincible while you are on the jet board, which is a huge disappointment. Ah, they thought about that. I'll just take the hit. Those crafty game designers. Still not hitting the checkpoint. I'm not doing it. Get out of my way, you piranha plant knockoff. Will, however, take another mask. Gonna need that extra hit. I'll snag the crystal on my way back. Go, 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 go. That's fine, just take the hit. Excuse me. Huh. Huh. Alright, for completing the time trial, you get the yellow gem. Alright, now it's time to die. Alright, now let's go through the stage normally. Boing. I guess I could have broken that checkpoint box, but I was going too fast. No think, only run. Make sure that blew up. Because in the first Crash, that was a bad habit of the game, where if you go too far off the screen, when you hit a TNT box, it would blow up the box that you set off, but not anything around it. I think the addition of the little box tally certainly helps in that regard. Huh. Almost maxed out on lives. I mean, again, just like in Crash 1, they hand out lives like candy. Take another mask. Why not? This is lying there. Yeah, what you're supposed to do normally is, like, clear the path out, but that takes too long in the time trial, so I guess that's why they put so many Aku Aku boxes in this stage, just to let you tank hits. Which is an interesting way of doing things. So, I guess that kind of leads into, like, a game design question. Do you think that it is good game design or bad design that you, like, let's say you have a difficult segment in a platforming area. You know, it's really tough. But you have a infinitely respawning, like, one-up whatever it is. You know, a picture of your face, a mushroom, a balloon, whatever that is. That always spawns before the segment. Does that mean that it's a well-designed section or a poorly designed section? Because if it's like, you know, I don't know. It's an interesting, like, design philosophy question, in my opinion. Stage 1 to go. Let's go to Sewer Later. Because sooner or later, we're gonna have to do this stage. Also, I like the N on, like, the little scrubbing bubble robots. That's a nice touch. Ah, the yellow gem platform. Okay. I'm gonna try to not hit that, because I want to save it for when we come back. Here the water is permanently electrified, as I've just demonstrated, by me wanting to take a swim. Now, this is a really baffling part. Well, not the part about me dying. The gem is right here. We've done literally one platforming challenge, and we already have the gem, so, you know, I can just do this. And as you can see, we spawn right back with the gem from the alternate path, and now we can collect both the crystal and the box gem. It's like, you've defeated the point of your challenge if you don't even have to get to the end of it to collect your prize. An interesting question that. I think it's reasonable game design because it encourages the player to keep at it and keep trying. That's kind of how I would lean towards to it as well. You know, like, obviously, you know, you should design your challenge to be fair, of course, but, you know, it definitely reduces the sting of defeat if, you know, you can kind of keep trying. Which, you know, is why Crash Bandicoot 4 got rid of the whole concept of lives in the first place. Even though like, for basically 20 years, I have never even come close to getting a game over in any of these games. Boing. I will say, though, I definitely like the bonus stages in Crash 2 and 3 way more than in Crash 4, because in Crash 4, they just feel kind of like puzzle rooms in, like, a not interesting, not fun kind of way, because it feels like there's only one solution to it. So instead of just, like, you know, a simple but maybe difficult platforming challenge, or, you know, maybe like some kind of simple order of operations puzzle. You know, you gotta like think everything through. It's like, that's not why I'm in a bonus stage, man. I'm in a bonus stage for like a little break from everything. You know, as a reward. I didn't want my reward to be pain. I'm not a masochist. Let's go invincible. Ooh, oh, got some slowdown. Do I go left? I think I go left here. Oh, I had to go right first. That's alright, we cleared out the enemies. Oh, pff. I looked at chat, but I almost got hit by the scrubbing bubbles machine. Alright, now we can go back. Once again, invincible. Unfortunately, there is a whole load of nothing. Oh, my invincibility crapped out. That stinks. I hate when my immortality ends right when you don't want it to. You ever have that happen to you? I hate when that happens. Once again, let you enjoy the crash dance. Oh, more plot.
Crash! Thank goodness. I hacked into Cortex's computer and found detailed schematics for an improved Cortex Vortex and a suspicious-looking space station. I'm not sure, but Cortex might be trying.
Well, I mean, you know, again, I keep pointing this out, but it really is that obvious. The game is subtitled Cortex Strikes Back. None of this is surprising. But anyway, let's go to Bear Down. Black Bear Down. Black Bear Down! Crash Dance is best dance. It sure is. Those are some of the smoothest dance moves that the second Clinton administration had to offer. Alright, let's go. Oh yeah, these guys. Don't hit the steel crate so you'll trip. Of course, sometimes they might keep them in the air, so, you know, you don't want to jump into them. Could you imagine if your entire life was just that? Like, that was your only goal in life? Did I hit that box? I don't think I did. So I'm gonna die just to make sure. I like how that's my answer to a very simple problem. Did I miss that box? Better guess I'll die. I don't know, that just kind of gives me like an idea for, I don't know, some kind of like black comedy sort of thing where like everything is punishable by death. I think I missed it again. I don't know, there's probably like just some kind of short film idea in that, you know, where every single misdemeanor possible is punishable by death. I don't know, I think that could be funny. Or maybe I just have the world's worst sense of humor. Excuse me, I didn't hit that. You were wrong, video game. I did not hit that. And we will not look at the instant replay for that, because that will probably prove that I did in fact hit that, thus rendering me wrong. There we go. Was that so hard? Yes, yes it was. I'll take that. Oh, this is a tough one. No, I missed. Into the drink. I will say, that's another thing that Crash 2 improved on. The death animations are way funnier. That looks suspicious. Before we do that, I'm going to collect my gem. There we go. So yeah, I think this is supposed to be like your first real indication that this game has secret exits. Because like, on the like obvious O-meter, you know, that's pretty far on the scale, I would say. But this leads to an alternate exit to Air Crash. Or an alternate entrance, I should say. And this is where all those missing boxes were. Okay, so you can actually, like, jump on those bouncy boxes to try and collect extra lives, but that's too risky for me. So yeah, Air Crash has, like, a lot of stuff in it. It's got its own alternate exit to a different stage. It's got an alternate entrance from another stage. And it's got a death route. This has got everything, man. Okay, so by doing that, we now start the stage with way more boxes. But now we have to break everything again, but that's okay, I like breaking stuff. Try to go through the stage as fast as I can, because we've already seen this a few times. I think this is actually the stage you have to revisit the most. Pretty sure, anyway. It's one of the stages, at the very least. That's how we do it. Get in this box. Alright. Thankfully we don't have to do anything with the death route. Uh-oh, time to go. Alright, make sure to slide onto the platforms to collect these sneaky boxes. So for those of you who have played it, what's your opinion on the Insane trilogy? I will admit, each time that I play it, well, first of all, I do own the Nintendo Switch version, which I will admit is not the best version to go for, but it's what I got, so, you know. And secondly, I will admit, as I continue to play it, it just makes me realize how it is. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a good thing that, you know, modern audiences can play these games. But the point of a remake, or a remaster, in my opinion, is to render the original one irrelevant. You know, that's the whole point. You want to be the definitive version of the game. You don't want to just be that game but worse, because then, you know, you just kind of wind up in a situation, well, where you've failed at what you're trying to do. If you make the original version look better than your remastered version, then why should people buy the remastered version? I mean, I'm not going to go out and say that the Insane Trilogy is bad. It's not. It's just... And, this could just be... just total nostalgia goggles. But I think if you're looking to just experience the games, at least for Crash 2 and 3. Crash 1, the Insane Trilogy is the best version, hands down. No qualms about that. But like 2 and 3, I still think the original versions are the best. Again, but maybe that's just total nostalgia with like my muscle memory and all that, but it just... Crash Insane just doesn't feel right to me. But welcome to Road to Ruin. As you can see by that, I actually think I know it's possible to make that jump, but I'm not going to try it. Actually, I don't know why I'm even breaking boxes, because we can't get the box gem right now. But yeah, these are the ruins of Cortex's castle, because you can actually see his castle in the background there. That's his castle. That's a nice touch. Also, these, like, dragons have, like, heat collars, which is weird. You'll have to slide into them to take care of them. I believe this... the stage does have a death route. Okay. I almost missed the death route platform. That would have been embarrassing. Alright, so we got these logs here. You can actually just spin attack the logs, which definitely makes these sections way easier. But yeah, that's just kind of my opinion on the Insane Trilogy. It's sort of the same of how I feel about the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Again, on its own, it's not bad, but it's just... Well, I still have the original versions, and I think those versions are better, so I'm just gonna stick with them if you don't mind. Got the gem. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I think the crystal's back here. That or I'm a fool. No, I was correct. The game put us past the crystal. Let's see, admittedly, I have not yet played all of Crash 2 and 3 in the Insane Trilogy, so I can't speak to that, but remaking something that millions of people love and making it something they will like more than the original is no small task. That is certainly true. It is very difficult. But I guess that kind of gets into my idea of why even make a remake, because it's like, well, you got two groups that you could try to appeal to. You can try to appeal to the old guard like me, and, make a game that reminds us of those old times, but, in that kind of sense, you're alienating the new people who don't have that kind of nostalgia connection. Or, you can just try to make the game, appeal to the new people. Try to expand the fan base, but then you run the risk of alienating, the people who know these games inside and out. And really, it's catch-22. You're not going to please everybody with any remake, because, it's, like you said, Pug, it's exceedingly difficult to find that middle ground of keeping things, enough like what they were so that people can recognize it as what they remember, but also modernizing and updating it in such a way so that people who have never played the original can still enjoy it. And that's really, really tough. My go-to example for, like, a remake that nails this is Kirby Superstar Ultra. In my opinion, that game completely renders the original Superstar worthless to play. Like, Superstar Ultra is just better than Superstar in every way possible, but it still keeps all of the old stuff. Oh yeah, this is unbearable. We're also being chased by this giant polygonal polar bear, and it's terrifying. Anyway, yeah, it's just, like you said, remakes are not easy to make, because, really, you're not gonna make everyone happy, and this is in regards to anything. You will never please everybody. So, the most important thing you can do is please yourself. If you're proud of the work that you did on your thing, well then who cares what other people think about it? I mean, I know, in the society that we have, that's not always an easy viewpoint to have, but, that's one of the driving principles that I live my life by. If I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, then nobody else is enjoying what I'm doing. Because, well, Okay, this. So, you remember when I told you about that bridge thing, like put it in your mind? This is what I was talking about. In previous stages, when the big thing rolled over the bridge, all the planks broke. Here they didn't. Yes, there is in fact a secret area in the bottomless pit. Because that's good design, right? That doesn't completely invalidate, years of playing platforming games that have taught us, hey, bottomless pits are bad. So, yeah, I'm not sure how, the indication that all the bridge planks didn't break are supposed to tip you off that there's a secret there. And, you heard the polar bear make a big thud when he went down the hole. Just maybe, I don't know, just put a couple of Wumpa fruit in the pit or something. Or maybe just, if you want to make it a little more subtle, just have the big polar bear not make a thud sound. Just something more than, oh, there's a few bridge planks that aren't broken. Because, you're asking your player to jump in a bottomless pit, unless you've clearly indicated it in such a way that, there's something different about it. That's just bad. Oh. There we go. Thankfully, we got a checkpoint. Ah, this is an armored armadillo. You'll need to body slam to get its armor off. I hope there isn't a box up there. I don't think there is. Oh. Excuse me. Alright, now we gotta fight the gophers, or the moles, or the rats, or the whatever these things are supposed to be. Alright. So yeah, that was all just for boxes. And then we shattered the rest of the bridge. Bonus time! I'll hit that. All right. Man, we got a lot of Wumpa fruit from that. Checkpoint. All right, time for another giant polar bear. I mean, just look at that wall of teeth that he has. I mean, that's terrifying. So, how many kids back in '97 do you think immediately wet their pants after seeing this thing? Oh, especially after he grins like that. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. Just had to stop for a moment. cute and cuddly? He is not, indeed. Oh yeah, so who's ready for bear riding while being chased by a bear? Well done. This is precisely not what you want to see on Take Your Child to Work Day. Well, we made it. Gem? Well, You know what? I'm gonna guess that there were boxes in that place where I thought there weren't boxes. But we can take an alternate exit, so it's not all bad. Alright, we'll just have to go back through that again. But this alternate exit leads us to one of the hidden stages, Totally Bare. You can probably guess what's about to happen. It's another polar riding stage. In the dark this time. Because that's exactly what I want, right? Just... It's the same stage as normal, just not being able to see. This stage will also make you use your turbo jump. Thankfully, the Wumpa Fruit will help guide you where you need to go. Oh! Yeah, this trick. Okay. Clunk. Okay, so what we need to do is actually jump around to the left side of that pillar so we can hit that question mark box. There we go. Yeah, it's a little tricky like that. No checkpoint. Oh boy. Whoop, excuse me, pardon me. Coming through. Huh? Whoa! I think somehow I died less on that stage than in all the others. Oh well. I got the gem. I love this warp room aesthetic, but you only see it in the two secret levels, which is really a shame. Alright, so we gotta run back through Unbearable very quickly and collect the gem. But not before more plot.
Crash, my boy, you are more than halfway there. But I'm sure you've noticed that things are getting harder. The last 10 crystals will be the hardest to gather, and my, our enemies will be sending their strongest forces to thwart you. I'll contact you again when you have completed the next one.
Alright. Alright, so let's get that gem. The only place that I could think that those boxes would be is in the secret area, so just go back there. Look at all this property damage. Crash is definitely like the kind of person, if he were a teenager, like a human teenager, he would definitely have been arrested for vandalism at some point in his life. Oh, interesting. Apparently while you're on fire, you can just bust through that. Interesting. I'm not sure why you would need to know that, but now we do, so the more you know, I guess. Alright, in we go. Oh, I've been shot. What's this game rated again? E for everyone? Ah, yes, for where your cute and cuddly mascot can be shot in the chest. Man, 90s were extreme, yo. Is there something up here? No, okay. This is not Crash 4. They do not hide a seemingly endless pile of boxes above boxes that are off screen. Thankfully. Oh. Just jump over that. Checkpoint. Okay, let's actually look up here this time. So they did. Okay. Jerks. Just use... Excuse me, that box had been destroyed. It was... Wow, okay. Stupid Nitro After Effect. Also, yeah, if you blow up via Nitro Box, you play the didgeridoo. Which, I don't know. I guess they just thought it was funny, and so they did it. I'll just take the hit. Get out of here. Take that. Could definitely use another hit. Ooh, that was close. Woo! Alright. I got all the boxes this time. And a concussion. Alright, so now we just gotta get through this stage normally again. Oh, I should have hit the nitro detonator first. I will say, I actually used to have, like, the original old model, like, chunky PS3. Like, you know, that hefty unit of a PlayStation 3. I used to have that. And, I actually had that thing for 10 years until it eventually just, it gave out on me. It served me well. I actually remember that I brought it to my, collegiate gaming club when I was in my undergraduate, and I remember like one of the like the tech guys who went there. He was so enamored with the thing. Like, wow, a fat PS3 model that's still working. He like took pictures of the whole thing. It was, I honestly felt kind of proud because, you know, I take good care of my stuff. It was just really cool. That story doesn't really have anything to do with anything that's going on, but you know, it's neat. Whee! Yeah, I had the big boy, and yours also gave out. I'm sorry to hear that, Pug, but I got the gem at least. I know that doesn't change anything, but hopefully it helps. Alright, let's save. Now that is a save screen right there. That's great. Someone should make that their Steam profile picture. Okay. So now we can head to the third boss of the game. This is the inappropriately named Tiny Tiger, though if you actually pause the game, it'll say his name is Taz Tiger, which was his original name in development, until they changed it. But they forgot to update the pause screen, so that's funny. But anyway, he works kind of like how Ripperoo did, but more aggressive. So you just need to lure him by jumping onto the platforms that are blinking, because they'll then fall. However, some other platforms will then fall, so you need to avoid doing the same thing. Just do that 3 times and you win. He's also capable of jumping diagonally, so be careful. Whew, that was close. Let's go here. This gives me more options. As you can see, now only one platform is dropping. Ah. Whew, that was close. Alright, we win, though. Again, another relatively easy fight. Alright, this warp room. This warp room is probably the most infamous of Crash 2, maybe of the whole series, because there are some pretty difficult stages here if you're trying to go for gems. Thankfully, I'm a trained professional. So let's start with hanging out. Which is another sewer stage. Is this the last sewer stage? Yes, this is the last sewer stage. I know you're also very disheartened by the fact that we don't get to spend any more time in the sewer, because the sewers are just the most picturesque of locations. Well, watch it. That's some high-speed cleaning. We got more monkey bars. We have more primate grates. That reminds me, I've not been on a playground in a really long time. I mean, I have no business being on a playground, but, you know, I like playgrounds, okay? We actually have a big park nearby my house, and the playground has definitely seen better days, but sometimes I go by there on my walks. I'm just gonna let that blow up. But yeah, that playground has definitely seen better days, but, you know, of course, the county's not gonna do anything about it, because that would require money. And let's face it, that money sure ain't being spent on anything useful now, is it? Oh. I made this joke previously in Crash 1, but now I am Ash Bandicoot. Well, that reminds me. This game actually has analog support. Which, can I toggle that on in this? Doesn't look like it. Oh well. But I guess this proves that I'm actually playing it on the PlayStation 3. But that's because I don't actually own physical copies of Crash 1 or 2. I do own a physical copy of Crash 3, but I actually bought the PlayStation Store version just for consistency's sake. I mean, it probably makes, like, no difference whatsoever, but, you know, it's the consistency and quality that I strive for around here. Which actually reminds me, I got a comment on one of my old... on a Ratchet & Clank Going Commando video, like, what console are you playing this on? And I said, it's the original PlayStation 2. And, like, it just blew that person's mind. It's like, I just like going for authenticity on my streams. I always try to record from original hardware if I can. Sometimes that's just not possible, but, you know. I don't know. It just kind of reminded me that it gave me, like, this nice little niche on the internet. Because, like, let's face it, how many people right now are streaming Crash Bandicoot 2 that's not the Insane Trilogy version? I mean, there's definitely some people, probably, but, like, I imagine it's pretty small. Again, more mental math. It's riveting, I know. There is a way to, like, spin bounce on these to break them, which is a technique that speedrunners use, but I ain't no speedrunner. I feel you on that. Whenever I do retro streams and people see I'm playing games on the original hardware, they're always a little blown away. Yeah. I will say, on the topic of speedruns, like, I have no problem with speedruns. I think they're neat, but they are not how I like playing my games. I like doing things, like, nice and methodical-like. Oh, I'm about to get electrocuted? No, I'm not. Alright, I got the gem. Now we can get electrocuted. Alright, this takes us back here. So now we can go down this hole. This is the one point where you need to pull up your legs, which you can do by pressing the circle button while you're on the grates. Because this takes us to Totally Fly, the second hidden level in the game. Yeah, speedrunning has never been my thing either. The only games I ever really go for that are the Resident Evil games, and that's just because they're unlockables tied to speedruns. Yeah, I get that. I will admit, that is one of the problems that I have with later Crash Bandicoot games. Like, I'll talk about that later when I actually get to them, because, well, I guess I can talk a little bit more about why I'm doing this. And not just because it's Crash's 25th anniversary, but, well, that's the primary motivation behind it. But I am playing most major games in his series as part of his 25th anniversary. It's not going to be every Crash game, because 1, I don't own every Crash game, 2, I don't have the methods to record every Crash game, and 3, there are actually some quite bad Crash games. I just prefer to focus on the good stuff, or rather, the stuff that I think is interesting. I don't really think anyone's going to get too bent out of shape if I don't play Crash Boom Bang, now are they? But yeah, this is another darkness stage, but thankfully, unlike the dark stages in Crash 1, you have fireflies to light your way, which thankfully means if you have Aku Aku and you take a hit, you don't lose them. So that helps out a lot. We just gotta move fast here. Oh, fuses. There we go. Come on, break the boxes. It's the one thing you're good at, Crash Bandicoot. Alright, cool, we made it. Really? That's how I die. You couldn't put like an invisible wall there or something, game designers? Oi. Alright, let's run that back. At least I didn't have like an Aku Aku to lose. Can I make that jump? Probably not. If I can, it'll be really close. There, that's better. Alright, let's not careen off the edge this time. Onwards then! Oh, hello. Let that explode. Ah, this part. Okay. So there's a lot of these, reinforced crates. What you're trying to do here is use your spin attack to listen for the clank sounds. And then break them. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, wait, where's the bottomless pits? Well, once you get far enough, you'll pick up some Wumpa fruit on the ground. That indicates there's a pit nearby, so we need to backtrack. Now we pick up the Firefly. See if there's anything we missed. The answer is no. And so now we just jump. I mean, I do actually kind of like that. That's an interesting idea. There's a gem. And yeah, the 2 hidden stages you don't have to do to finish the game. They're just worth more gems. But I like gems. Okay. Dig in it. Now this is a stage, this probably isn't the most infamous stage in this warp room, but if you've ever tried, or have 100%ed this game before, this stage sends a cold chill down your spine, and not just because it's more snow. So these plants spit grenades, you know, just like in nature. You actually can defeat them by body slamming them, but that'll only be useful at one point. This stage does have a death route, so you will need to make sure you don't blow up or die. Avoid the giant statues. Also, the plants spit the grenades in random spots, so they have like no pattern to them. Though they will not lob grenades in exactly the same spot twice, so you can kind of use that to help determine which area is safe next. It has been really refreshing to see the original Crash Bandicoot 2, so enjoying this stream very much. Well, that's what I'm here to provide. Okay, these gates are on a timer, so you can't slide underneath them. I mean, you can try, but you won't succeed. Ow. That's alright, that's what Aku Aku is for. And thankfully with the grenades, it's only the explosion that hurts you, not the grenade itself. Yeah, give yourself that migraine, Crash Bandicoot. I'll take that. Not saying that because I'm going anywhere, just wanted to say that I'm digging this. Oh, I see. Was that really just your whole plan to make a joke? If so, I approve. Okay, this is where the death route is. And this is where the headaches begin. So as you can see, the developers have given us paths to choose from. We gotta take the death route first. Avoid the minefield of nitro boxes. We got bees. Oh, come on. That's not cool. But again, since we stood on the death route platform, we don't have to worry about missing out on anymore. And you can spin attack the bees away. Checkpoint. And actually fills me with some dread. There's the gem. Okay, the death route is over. But not really. Because you could probably see where I'm going with this. So now, we have to go back through this side to get all of the boxes here. Okay, so this ground you can dig into, which will protect you. And you can also swat the bees away. But as you can see, now we gotta inch our way back. And that's why this sucks. And of course, because we broke a checkpoint on this side, we're stuck here. Was there a grenade there? I guess there was. Okay. Now, it is possible... Oh, did I make a joke? I did. If I did, it was unintentional. Those are the best kinds of jokes. But yeah, this stage's name is Diggin' It. So, you know, that's the joke. But yeah, you can see why this part is not very fun. Because now, we have to, you know, deal with things we can't really see, with a camera we can't control. This gets us past this beehive. And thankfully we can swat away the plants. We can just reach a checkpoint on this side, we'll be okay. There's the crystal. There it is! Oh, okay, alright. So the worst part is over. We still have to walk backwards. Alright, there's nothing at the top, thankfully. Alright, and this takes us back here. So we're just gonna go back through the regular route, but now we have to make our way back without getting hit until we reach the next checkpoint. I'm also pretty sure it's possible to take the right path first and then go down the death route, but that just leads to more complications because now you gotta go through the right route without dying once instead of just getting on the death route platform and then not having to worry about it anymore. Ah, checkpoint. Okay. Dodge the mines. Alright, this guy's got a hammer. You can probably guess what he's going to do to you if you get too close. So just spin attack him. Okay, we got the gem. Now we need to die. Grenade me. Thanks. I like how Crash dies all dramatic and like, I think that's funny. Okay, so we still get to keep all the crystal and the gems. But this thing here, this is where the body slam part comes in. Destroy it. Excuse me, what? Okay. Let's try that again. Seriously. I like how this is what I'm having all the trouble with. Not the actually hard part. Okay. Now die. And now we warp. Yes, this is the final alternate exit, which leads to Road to Ruin. Yeah. All right, let's go. Ah, you see that Wumpa fruit? There's a TNT box in this stack. Because the game designers are mean. Alright, avoid the fiery breath of Olmec. Because this is the real Legends of the Hidden Temple. And by doing that, we're now on the main path. Now, I've seen speedrunners, and it actually is possible to just jump over that gap of the transparent boxes and just reach the alternate entrance that way. But, you know, that requires speedrunning skill, which I don't have. Alright, no need for the death route this time. Oh. Okay, you see this here? Again, this is another thing that you'll want to tuck into your brain pocket. Ah, another Aku Aku. You love to see it. Another checkpoint, another thing you like to see. Alright, now we can take the bonus route. Oh yeah, the old runaround. That's a classic. Uh-oh. Don't worry, fallen platforms will reappear after a moment, so we're not, you know, stuck. I don't know how they reform, but they reform. Could you imagine if real architecture was like that? Maybe that's what architecture of the future will be. It'll be like, you know, just insta-repairable. Could you imagine if all of, like, our infrastructure becomes, like, inflatable? Like, all of our skyscrapers just become big bouncy castles and that kind of thing? How weird would that be? Like, you know, the elevator is just made of rubber or something? Or, no, you use trampolines to change floors. You never know quite what you're gonna get on a Defender stream, but I'll rest assured, you'll only find it here. Back it up. Back it up. Okay. Where'd I miss it? Don't make me go back through the whole thing again. I will do it. I am not taking that alternate route again. Oh! I guess when you clear it, the platform stays, because I definitely died. Like right there. Alright, hold on. Before I do all of this, let me make sure I didn't, you know, miss it on the main, like right in this section. That's possible. Okay, I guess I just missed one of those corner boxes. Alright, that makes things much easier on myself. That's a relief. And here I was thinking that I had really cooked things. Oh, we were supposed to get this message in the 4th warp room, but, you know.
Crash, I haven't had much time. Cortex has almost completed the new space station. Something is not right with his statements. Beware of the tricks.
The tricks rabbit? He usually is like, but where's everyone else, right, though? Oh well. Okay. Alright. My friends, this is Cold Hard Crash. And if you've played Crash 2 and gotten 100%, or attempted to get 100%, this is the stage that screwed you up. Because this stage has a ton of boxes and a real roundabout way of collecting them all. Alright, so, you know, the first part of the stage is not that bad. But don't worry, it's the next part that'll cause you to throw your controller. Just gonna spin attack these, I don't want anything to do with them. This bonus stage. This bonus stage is the worst. Let me show you. This right here. I'm gonna look above. Do you see anything there? Well, get this. There is a single box above these bouncy boxes. Now, on its own, you know, that's mean, but not completely unreasonable. Oh, don't worry. It's everything else the stage does in conjunction with that. Oh, I gotta go. It's everything else the stage does that makes that egregious. Okay, they all blew up. Excellent. Let's let that set it off. Watch the porcupine. Okay, this is the part. Because this stage has a death route. So I'm going to hit the checkpoint and get on the death route. Time to go. This place is packed with nitro boxes. So if you can become invincible, that is ideal. But if not, you know, it is what it is. This section is also primarily ice, so, you know, that leads to ice physics, which is a ton of fun. You know what, we're just gonna wait it out. I'm gonna play the patient game here. You know what, I will just take the hit. I didn't want to slide and potentially careen off the edge. That does mean I don't go invincible, but I do avoid dying. Cash Banooka! Yep, this is Cash Banooka, Gringotts Steakhouse. I'm laughing to death, and yes, I am aware of that. It's a good joke. But this is Cold Hard Crash, as I'm sure you're aware. But also welcome in, we are glad to have you here. Let that fall. You know what, just take the hit and blow up as many nitro boxes as you can. What the... Ugh. Did you know that there's a fan remake of Crash Bash? No, I did not. Mostly because I honestly don't care very much about Crash Bash. Okay. Now you see the gem? Don't go for it. Instead, hit the exclamation point, and now we gotta make our way back. Easy does it. There we go. Yeah, if you're invincible, you can just blast your way through those, which helps immensely. Jump. Okay. Now you might be thinking, oh, that box was all we had to go back for? No. Woo! Woo! Alright. So, I don't know how the game is supposed to expect you to do this, but you can ride the Death Route platform here back to the main stage. Still need to try Wumpa Fruit G Fuel? Well, really, they make a flavor of G Fuel called Wumpa Fruit? That's interesting. Yes, you need to clear the Death Route of all boxes, then make your way back to the regular stage and break all the boxes there. Fun. Very fun. You know what, I'm just gonna set this off. Just gotta make my way to a checkpoint, because that's what I really need right now. Just gonna wait. Gonna be nice and patient. Porcupine. Okay, come here, you. Please, a checkpoint. It's all I want. Yes, there it is! Oh, alright. We're in the clear, I think. Crash 4 be like, you think this is the Dark Souls of platforming? I'll show you the Dark Souls of platforming. Yeah, that's a funny joke. You know, that when the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy originally came out, reviewers were calling it the Dark Souls of platforming, which, like, come on. I mean, it's tough, but it's not Dark Souls tough. Okay, see that box right there? That 1-up box? Destroying the nitro boxes with the detonator won't actually blow it up, so you'll need to destroy it yourself. But thankfully, there was that checkpoint just before us, so, you know, no stress there at least. Okay, now we can go down here. But yeah, we're pretty much on easy street now. Oh, I clipped the question mark box with that. Lucky me. How old do you think Crash and Coco are supposed to be? I have no idea. Well, actually, that's not true. Because in the flashback tapes of Crash 4, you know, they're supposed to have been, like, experimented on in '96, so technically, if we're going by, like, you know, real-world dates, they should be, like, 25 years old at this point. But, you know, being stuck in the Evolve array definitely, you know, messes with the aging process. At least I would think so. That's 155. That's the number of boxes in Cold Hard Crash. That's the gem. So yeah, that was really easy, right? You know, nice and simple. Except not. And the worst part is that because of the strategy that you have to go through, it's really difficult to get all of the gems in one run. Which stinks. Thankfully now we have the much easier challenge of just going through the death route, which, you know, your stage is maybe a little too hard to get the box gem when, you know, the death route is the easier part. But I don't know, I'm not a game designer. Oh. Well, I don't have to worry about boxes anymore, so that's a huge relief. Excuse me. There we go. Again with the porcupine. Don't like it. I mean, I got no problems with porcupines in real life, but this is not real life. Give me that checkpoint. As you can see, this is going much easier. Woo. Oh. Alright, I got it. No, let's just jump over the porcupine. That solves things. It still just amazes me that, you know, what we just did, the death route, by itself, was just easier and faster than getting the normal box gem. Unbelievable. But we got it, and it actually didn't take us that long, which I'm grateful for. I never look forward to doing that stage. Alright, Ruination. We're making good time. Thankfully, I don't think this stage has any interesting things to it. It does have this nice rain aesthetic, which I like. I gotta admit, I'm kind of the same on rain as I am on snow. I like, you know, the sound of rain, but I don't like having to, like, drive or go anywhere in the rain. Monkey. There we go. Okay, so you remember that thing about, like, the exclamation box that I told you to remember about last time? Yeah, if you do that this time, you just spawn nitro boxes. There's 2 games I'd like to pre-order, but I can't find anywhere that will be let me order the PS4 versions of them. Which games are those, if I may ask, and if you're willing to share? You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay, so this stage requires the green gem. But interestingly, it just does this. So, like, it could have done the same Crash 1 thing of just, like, have the green gem platform fill in here. But, oh well. Now the rain's really picked up. We're gonna catch a cold if we stay out too long. Woo, woo, woo. There we go. Oddworld Soulstorm finally has a release date, and they made a big deal about it being on PS5. PS4 was just kind of tagged on there. Interesting, I didn't know Soulstorm was coming out for PS4. I thought it was just a PS5 exclusive. But yeah, I hear that, like, trying to get anything PS5 has been really tough lately. Yeah, for PS4, 5, and PC. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I can go invincible. Feels like so long ago since we've done that. Well, I got the gem. Now to die. Which puts us back here, but with the gem. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's try that again. At least we didn't lose much progress. And today I learned that Stub the Zombie is getting remastered, so I can finally play that game. Oh yeah, it's coming out for the Switch, isn't it? Yeah, that was originally like an Xbox game, wasn't it? I just wanted to pulverize the boxes, Crash. Was that really so hard? There we go. Yeah, it came out at the tail end of the Xbox life cycle. That's what I thought. I've heard that game's pretty good, but it's like the definition of a cult classic. You know, it's kind of rough around the edges, but like, you're a zombie trying to take over, you know, 1950s America, and you can like throw your stomach as a grenade. So it's like, you know, that's really all you need. Sometimes it's just the premise of a game. That's really all you need to sell someone on it. More intense counting. The jank is part of the charm with some games. I agree. Sometimes it's not a bug, it's a feature. Part of the reason why I like Digimon World so much. That's like, that's an RPG, isn't it? I admit, I don't know very much about Digimon. That was not my thing as a kid. I have made a horrible mistake, but that's okay, I was not punished for it. It's a lot of things. Oh, okay, it's one of those, like, grab bag of game genres. I am familiar with those kinds of games. I'm gonna wait this out. Are people really excited for more Pokemon remakes? I guess so. I freely admit, I have fallen off of the Pokemon wagon pretty much ever since Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That was like the last Pokemon game I put like any kind of time to, and I really haven't touched the franchise since. It just doesn't interest me anymore, and you know, that's okay. I don't regret my time in the series, not at all. It's just, I've moved on to greener pastures, and that's okay. So it's like, if you're asking for my opinion on like, what do I think of the remakes, or on Pokemon Legends or anything like that, I have no strong feelings on it, either way. Alright, that should be all the boxes. That's all the boxes. Most fans I ask say they don't want anything to change about the games. That is what I've heard. I've heard that, like, you know, this might anger some people. Pokemon fans are kind of like Smash Brothers fans in that they complain about basically everything. But, you know, there's a lot of franchises that we don't see anymore that are just, they just want a game. Like, you know, it's a definition of spoiled. I know I've got like an outsider's perspective on that, and, you know, not everyone fits that description. It's a stereotype for a reason. Stereotypes don't apply to everyone, but, you know, it just seems like they whine a lot. I wish you get some info on Digimon Survive. Been getting delayed since 2019. Is that another like multi-genre game? Did I ever play Monster Rancher? I know what it is, but I have never played it. I admit, I am not very interested in like life sim-esque kind of games. I don't think Monster Rancher is specifically that kind of game, but you know, things like Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, like those games don't interest me. If I'm gonna play a game, I want to do something fantastical in it, you know. I don't want to live a life. Like, if I want to live a life, you know, I got mine. I'll go outside and do stuff. Just destroy that. Now, unfortunately, you cannot be safe from nitro explosions while you're under the ground, so you will have to protect yourself from that. Thankfully, we are safe from bees. Also, the statues in this stage move much faster than the ones in Diggin' It, so you'll want to be careful. Just get you out of here. Oh yeah, these hammer guys, they can hit you while you're under the ground, so you'll want to be careful of that. Okay. This right here, this is a secret, but, you know, again, it goes against your basic idea of, well, nitro crates are bad, they explode when you touch, but you'll notice these aren't jumping, and, you know, they're stacked in a staircase, which is weird, so you can actually step on them. The remake of Medieval was fun a few years ago. I honestly forgot that game even came out, which is a shame because I was actually looking forward to it, so I might have to pick that up at some point. I don't think there are any boxes along this route, but I will double check because it has been a while. But again, if there isn't, that's just another example of the devs, you know, putting the thing you want to collect at like the beginning of the obstacle course. I'm not sure if Twisted Metal could make a comeback in today's day. I know there was like a Twisted Metal remake in like 2012 or 2013 or something like that. And I don't know if he's still here, but Pug could probably go more into that. But there's like some kind of recent PlayStation game, Destruction All-Stars or something like that, that's kind of... Excuse me, how did that hit me? That's kind of like Twisted Metal, but I've never played that, nor do I really have much interest in it, so meh. Let's see. Pretty sure... Are there boxes back here? Let's find out. Oh, I see. I guess this put us further back. Okay. Interesting. Usually the, like, secret paths put you further in the stage. But not this time. What? Oh, come on. Alright, avoid the giant statue. More grenade plants. Give me that checkpoint. Now slide, baby. Slide. Hey, stop littering. You're gonna get someone hurt. Spin attack. I just realized this whole time I was just on my main Twitch page and not on my creator dashboard, which is where I can manage my stuff. Because I am very good at streaming. Whoa, watch it! Definitely thought I was dead there, but I am not. I have a PS1 platformer where you play as a tarantula, and magically titled Spider the Video Game. I've seen footage on that. That game actually looks pretty sweet, if a little disturbing. And also definitely not for people who, you know, have arachnophobia. But you're able to equip, like, different arms and stuff, right? So, like, you could have, like, a machine gun arm and a flamethrower arm. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I might have to check if that game's available digitally. I don't think it is, but maybe it is. We'll find out. Maybe. Alright, so that was a surprisingly smooth fourth warp room. You know, all things considered, that didn't take too long.
Crash, I have discovered that the opposition is being masterminded by Dr. Nitrous Brio, the inventor of the Evolvo Ray. Brio was responsible for our misunderstandings in the past. He forced me to assist him in his plot for world domination, and he's at it again. He will attempt to stand in our way. Be on your guard, Crash. Use the platform to deliver the crystals to Engine.
Alright. Let's save beforehand. 79%. Dang. This is the fourth boss fight. Just hold on a second while it loads in. It's thinking about it.
Like Dr. Cortex said, eat the 20 crystals you have collected me.
I don't know about that. I never understood why this boss fight happens. This is the fight against Engine, who's in a giant mech. Just toss the Wumpa fruit by pressing square or circle, and hit the big glowy parts. Very easy. Well, actually, it's not. Engine is definitely much harder than the other fights. Not substantially, but, you know. I never understood why this boss fight happens. I think this fight happens is because Cortex finally thinks that, you know, he doesn't need Crash anymore because, you know, he's collected most of the crystals. So it's like, you know, just kill him off, take his crystals, and then, you know, I can gather the rest on my own time. Because, you know, they're close to where my definitely not evil space station is. So it's just like trying to, you know, trim the fat and all that. Tie up loose ends and that kind of stuff. Alright, so now we can hit the missile launchers. toss the fruit. Yeah, it's just more like mind projecting them. I mean, in the Insane Trilogy, Crash actually does toss the Wumpa fruit. I always found this part kind of tough to hit the missile launchers. You really have to lead your shots. There we go. Thankfully, like, the pattern doesn't really change. He'll just bomb basically 2 of the 3 platforms. I like how he tries to shake his fist at you, but he has no fist left. All right, now he'll toss a missile along the ground. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay, in this last part, just stand in the center and toss the fruit rapidly. He will attempt to vaporize the platform you're standing on. I thought you could lob them fast enough to destroy them. Clearly I was wrong. Automod, why did you block Robot? That's... what? Oh, Moron. Really? Automod has a problem with Moron? Wow. That is a new one on me. Okay. I guess? Like, wow. Alright, it must suck to be a world-renowned mad engineer and then have your awesome robot be defeated by a moron throwing fruit. Yeah, it's probably not great. It's not good for the old ego and self-esteem. Term robot moron. Those were both the terms that it disliked? Cool your jets, Automod. It's not that bad. Okay, that one's done. I will say, I do really like Engine's theme. And Engine is the best fight in this game. In my opinion, anyway. Okay, there goes that one. That one's gone. Okay, let's not do the same thing we did last time. Toss a few. Okay, now he should try to vaporize this platform, and we should win. Yep. There we go.
Master Cortex will be very displeased with your resistance. Prepare to suffer his wrath!
If you notice over the course of the series, you can track Engine's slow descent and insanity as the life support system and that missile in his head starts to fail. Well, I always thought that it was just because he was a stereotypical mad scientist. Also, why would you put life support systems in a missile? That doesn't seem safe.
What is your problem, Bandicoot? I will not ask you again to bring me the crystals. Obtain the remaining 5 crystals, Crash, and bring them to me.
Alright, well. You heard the man. I mean, it's kind of stuck in there. Might as well make the best use of it. You're not wrong. Okay, so these are the last 5 stages. We got Piston It Away, which is a great stage name. I love it when stage names try to sneak jokes past people. I think that's funny. What's not funny, though, is trying to collect the gems in this stage. Crash 4 has so many innuendos. Oh, yeah. I'm honestly surprised that they got away with what they did in an E+10 rated game for Crash 4. Alright, get past the shocky guys. There we go. Okay. Is this the part? Oh yeah, some of these shocky guys have their arms up, and some of them have them down. If they have their arms up, you'll need to slide into them. And if they put their arms down, you'll need to jump on them. And as you can see, some of them can actually change their position, so you'll want to be careful on that. Nice and careful. There we go. Okay, this part. I'm gonna hit that checkpoint. This mask. Okay, as you can see, we have a death route platform here. Now, I'm gonna take advantage of the mechanic discussed earlier. By standing on it and going through the path, we will lock this and basically be able to enter it at will. Then we'll die. Whoop, oh boy. Alright, so now the platform will stay there. So now we can get electrocuted. That was not my plan. And go through the rest of the stage. Okay, you see that enemy there? That totally inconspicuous, normal-looking enemy? You need to save him for later. Also, standing on those platforms will fire shrink rays at you, which will shrink you into a tiny molecule, and then you implode into nothingness, and you die horribly. But you can actually, if the projectile is coming at you horizontally, you can actually spin attack it away, but not if it's coming down directly on top of you. Okay, so we want to be careful here. I'm going to save that life box, because we're going to need it to jump over the nitro boxes on our way back. Again, this is more of the puzzle kind of bonus room that Crash 4 is packed with that I don't like as much. But I'm a simple man. Just give me a nice, simple platforming challenge. That's all I want. Huh? I love how the devs for Crash 4 wanted to make Tawna a more fleshed out independent character, and the internet responded in the way that it did. Yeah, I guess technically, I don't know. There's some joke that I could make there, but I'm not smart enough. Whew, that was close. Okay, now we can go back and get those boxes from the invisible boxes. Thinking. Sometimes you just have to do it. Oh, she's fleshed out, alright. That's the joke I was going for. You beat me to it. Actually, you just made the joke that I was not going to, so. You're just superior to me in this instance. Alright, try not to fall through the gaps on that bonus platform, because I did once. Thankfully, that counts as a checkpoint, so we're fine. What, it didn't? Alright. That's fine. We'll just have to go through it again. Hopefully this time I can hold on to my Aku Aku mask. Thankfully, the bonus stage should still be completed, so we don't have to worry about that again. At least I really hope it is. Yes, it is. All right, sweet. Jump over it. All right, just spin attack these guys when they're not trying to thrust you away, and you'll knock them into the pit. Is good. If they do manage to hit you, they will take a step forward, so, you know, that's not what you want. Okay, so now that you've broken this one box here, it's time to go back. Thankfully, because this is a side-scrolling area, it's not as bad as going towards the camera. Now, this is the part with the where you'll want to spin attack the shrink ray particles. There we Okay, now we need to use this guy to bounce up over the projectile firer to get back to the death route. And now we can make our way through it. Again, there are some pretty darn roundabout ways of trying to complete challenges in this game. Ooh. There we go. I think there's a checkpoint on the death route, though, so we're definitely gonna want that. Just shortened scream because he fell into, you know, nitroglycerin. I mean, I'm pretty sure my scream of imminent death would be cut short if I fell into nitroglycerin. But quite frankly, I'm not interested in finding out for sure. Ah, that's great. Good job, me. That's the pristine platforming everyone comes to expect from you. Okay. Alright, we're pretty much home free now. Gem time. But we can't die yet, because, well, we still need the box gem. There it is. Easy peasy. We're in the home stretch, friends. We've just got 4 more stages to go, and thankfully, I think, actually none of them are as hard as what we had in the 4th warp room. That was the last, probably hard gem to get. Do that wonderful crash dance again. Rock it. So, this stage introduces a mechanic that a lot of people don't like about this game. Which is a shame because it's a really cool idea. Jetpacks. The jetpack was the coolest thing when I was a kid until I played it. I will say this. It's not my favorite part of the Crash Bandicoot games, but like, I don't have as much trouble as seems like everyone else does. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is not, like I said, my favorite part of Crash 2, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those weirdos who's actually managed to learn how to use it somewhat. It's not bad once you get used to it. I agree. Like, it could control better, absolutely, but I still like it. I mean, it's a jetpack. You will never get me to hate jetpacks. If you somehow manage to make me dislike jetpacks, I don't know, you should not be working with jetpacks, because jetpacks are rad. I'm still waiting on my jetpack in real life, by the way. I promised myself that I would not die until I get a jetpack. So far, I'm holding true to my promise. Avoid the wires. The helipack from Wrath of Cortex, that actually controlled better. I liked the helipack. Though I think you only used it in, like, what, 2 stages? And only, like, 1 regular stage. The other was, like, a race against a polar bear on a magic carpet or something? That game's weird. Who knows, I might have to play through it for this anniversary. Sometimes, foreshadowing is especially obvious. Lasers. You know, you really should get, like, an electrician to look at that. That seems like a problem, you know? Yeah, the Wrath of Cortex didn't... Oh, hold on, sorry. I must concentrate for a moment. Reading chat and concentrating do not go well together. Go shock. There you go. Yeah, the Wrath of Cortex didn't have enough of its own identity, and they wasted the voice talent. I know, they got some really, like, big-name actors in that game. Very strange. But that is a discussion for later. Alright, so that was easy enough. I must admit, I thought it would take me like 2 sessions to finish this game, but I think we're gonna finish it today. Alright, it's Night Fight. This is a jungle stage, which is interesting considering that the last jungle stage we had in regular rotation was in the first warp room, so it's just kind of interesting that they brought it back this late in the game. Remember 2 hours ago when we were doing that? Those were good times. We were such different people back then. But again, it's more darkness, but again, because we have fireflies and not Aku Aku to light the way, we can take hits and not immediately, you know, be stranded in just a yawning void of darkness, which is generally not what I like to do. You might have a different idea of fun, and that's okay. Oh, right, a death root, okay. Oh, boy. Woo! Alright. I definitely cheesed that. Okay, I forget. Are there more boxes on this route? I don't think there are, but I'm gonna run through the whole thing again, just to make sure. Oh no, there are. Okay. You cheeky little so-and-sos. Okay, so I think there are boxes along this way, but there's... Ow. Here are the nitro boxes. Oh, don't pick up the firefly. Reach right past. Bonus stage! Yes! That'll act as a surrogate checkpoint. Would you say these darkness levels is a core Crash gimmick? I'd say that in, like... At least in the first couple. Are there dark levels in Crash 4? I don't think there are. I'm kind of glad they aren't. I don't really like forced darkness in games because it's just taking away something from you arbitrarily. That's just not really interesting or very fun. There's one darkness level in the Wrath of Cortex. Yeah, I remember that one. Okay. So... Were there more boxes? Maybe. That's a hole. I found the hole. Wait, doesn't that put me back? Oh yeah, it does. That might actually be good. Because there's the death route. Oh wait, no, I remember what has to happen. Okay. Yeah, I remember what the stage wants you to do. Ooh. Avoid more of the spike satellites? What are those even supposed to be? There's the crystal and a checkpoint. Alright, that's already completed. That's fine. Okay. Well, that's not okay. I was hoping to jump over it. Believe it or not. I know it looks like I just slid into it like a dummy. But trust me, that was not what I was intending to do. But that doesn't change the outcome, and then it looks like I slid into them like a dummy. There's randomizers for these games? Oh, I believe it. There's like randomizers for everything these days. Though I will admit, I'm not really interested in a randomizer. It's just not my cup of tea. But I can definitely see the appeal of it. Okay, so what we need to do is just backtrack a little bit for these two boxes. And now we can resume our merry jaunt through the pitch black jungle, where there's probably hundreds of thousands of poisonous animals all trying to eat and or kill you in some various method. Yo, what up? Hello, side quest. We are glad to have you here. Just playing some, you know, Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. This is a good time. This is the first world? No. We're actually relatively close to the end of the game. There are 2 more stages left before we finish, so you caught us right at the very end, at the tail end. No, if this was a stage in the first world, that would be bad. But you do at least get to see the crash dance, so, you know, at least you don't get to go home totally empty-handed. This is one of the few games I had to have my older brother beat for me. Ah, I see you're lucky. I didn't have an older brother to beat games for me, or an older sibling to, you know, complete games for me. This stage is called Pack Attack. If I wanted to clear a stage, I had to do it on my own. Alright, jetpack time again. Also, I like how, you know, Crash is like a mute idiot, but yet he somehow knows how to pilot a jetpack. Have I ever played Crash Bash? Yes, I have, but I have never completed it because, honestly, it bored the living daylights out of me. Oh, this level I died so many times. Again, we were talking about this earlier. It just seems like everyone dislikes the jetpack stages in this game. That game was lit. I'm sorry. Well, it's just, again, I have no problem with you liking it or anyone liking a game. It's just, I'll be honest, Crash Bash was not my thing. It was just meh, if you ask me. And also, if you're wondering if I will play it for this, like, 25th anniversary thing that I'm doing, the answer is no. Mostly because, well, one, I don't like that game very much, and two, if I were to try it and complete it, it would probably take me, like, the rest of the year. It's like Sony Mario Party. Yeah, kinda. Like the minigame part. I don't know, I didn't like it very much. Get Aku Aku. Oh, that's... ow. Alright, though, I'm fine. Just brush off a laser blast. Whew. That was close. That's a lot of nitro boxes in one spot. Has anyone ever actually bumped into those? It just seems like they're all kind of close together. Like those mines that I just ran into. Oh. Nope, come on. There we go. Yeah, I find that it kind of helps if you think of piloting the jetpack like piloting a car. You use the X button to accelerate forward, and use the circle button to brake and reverse. Favorite level in this game? That's a tough one. I would say probably... one of the Ruin stages, I would probably say. Ruination. I'll say Ruination. Oh, I'm dead. Well, you see, if you stack all of the dangerous things really close together, it's almost a guarantee I'm gonna bump into them. It's very inconsiderate of you, space station designers. I like the Indiana Jones Polar Bear level. That is also a good one. That is also a good one. Wanna do your little shocky thing. Bye-bye. We're just gonna wait this time. Also, I like how the mines look like big Wumpa fruit. Alright. That should be all of them? Of course. Of course. Alright. Just do it again. Oi. I thought those were Wumpas? Yeah, they certainly look like them. Maybe that was the whole point, to try to trick people. But, you know, it's a trick that only works once, because, you know, generally when you eat something that explodes, you don't eat that again. You normally just don't eat again, period, but, you know, if you're lucky enough to still be able to eat, you don't eat that thing again. Alright. Now, if I was a box that was trying to hide from being broken, where would I hide? Yep. You know what? It was probably that one. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it was that one. Oh, no. Was it this one? I don't know. How does it feel to use old school controls compared to the modern controller scheme? What exactly do you mean? Because, like on the Insane trilogy? I don't know. I think it's... The new control scheme doesn't really throw me off. It's really like the physics, like how Crash feels. That's what throws me off from the Insane trilogy. But no, this is the OG original version of Crash 2. Okay, I think I got it this time. At least I really hope I do. Think about how games from this era had controls that make no sense to today's. Yeah, like almost kind of anything on the N64, using the C buttons to control the camera. Those were dark times, friends. Using L1 and R1 to move the camera. I will admit, I really grew up with these kinds of games. Oh, I had Aku Aku. There was nothing to worry about. So, I'm used to using, like, the shoulder buttons to steer the camera. So, like, it's not ideal. It is not better than using, you know, the right analog stick, but I can adjust to it. Like, I still have the original PlayStation 2 version of Kingdom Hearts, and, you know, using L2 and R2 to steer the camera and that doesn't really bother me. But I do know that, A, you know, it was not ideal. It was what we had to work with at the time. And 2, you know, not everybody's going to be able to like it. And that is definitely a sticking point for some people, and that is totally understandable. The new control schemes are way better. Yes, I agree. Using the right analog stick to steer the camera is way better. But again, we made do with what we had back in the day. You know, back in the 90s, we were lucky if our games had controllable cameras. I mean, Crash Bandicoot as a series, at least in the first 3 games, were pretty much designed around the fact that, you know, creating a controllable camera was really hard. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. So as you can see, this is the Blue Gem platform. You will need all 5 colored gems if you wish to take this route. It is packed with 1-ups and has a gem at the end. There we go. Alright, green gem time. I remember as a kid, I tried to hold all 3 handles on the N64 controller. Yeah, that's... Again, I've seen a lot of discussion about, you know, how use the N64 controller, and I admit it is a little weird. But yeah, the PlayStation controller is just more natural. Oh, that's bad. Don't do that. Alright, you're done. Yellow time. My first console was an N64, so I kind of just took to it naturally. Though I did have to consult the instruction manuals a lot. Slide jump. When the PlayStation came out with analog sticks, it was a game changer. Yeah, Dual Shock. Changed the whole world. Oh, pushy guys, huh? Alright. Get out of here. Woo. Alright. Alright, am I going for 100%? Yes, this is actually the last stage that I need to get the gems on, so... yeah. Okay, and now... we die. Alright, so this takes us back here, but with that gem in our possession, so now we can just clear the stage normally. And disintegrate immediately, because I forgot that was there. Alright, let's try that again. I like how I was able to clear that whole thing on my first try, no problem, but then when I didn't have to clear it on my first try, I died to the first obstacle. But yeah, unlike with Crash 1, I always go for 100% in Crash 2, and Crash 3. Not Crash 4, though, because doing that is a miserable experience, which I would not wish on my worst enemy when I'm on a good day. On my bad days, you don't want to see me on my bad days. Oh, I'm electrified. I've only played Crash 2. Crash 4 is genuinely a great time, but only if you're not going for 100%. Going for 100% tanks that game, in my opinion. But no, Crash 4 is a worthy follow-up to, Ow. Brother had to collect the bonus stuff for me? Yeah. Come on, this is the last stage. We can do this. There we go. There we go, that's better. Also, I'm cheap, so I didn't get a PS2 until the smaller version came out. The smaller version is just better, so I don't blame you for doing that. I also have a... There wasn't a box up there, was there? I think there was just a life. I also don't think I've hit a checkpoint, so... Oh, I really hope there was just a life up there. I'm gonna be very sad. Ow. Really? That should have still counted. Oh well. But yeah, I still own my slim PS2 model, and that thing's great. I love the PlayStation 2. Bye-bye. Ooh, that was close. Going to do the same thing for PS5, not only for the price, but because the actual thing is too dang big. Oh yeah, don't they sell like a digital version that just has games digitally and doesn't actually have a disc drive? What an interesting design choice that we've somehow evolved game consoles to just not have disc drives anymore. I don't know, I still can't even find PS5s. Nor am I really interested in them right now, just meh. There's no games that I want for it right now. Yep, that's the PS5 Digital Edition. Oh, there we go. One last bit of counting boxes. Another game changer was when PlayStation is that you can play music CDs on PS1. My mom found out only by just randomly putting a CD in it. Oh, that's interesting side quest. And the PS2 with playing DVDs. Yeah, those were big, because that's when like video game systems went from just, you know, being a video game system to being like a home entertainment thing. You know, you could do multiple things with it. Ooh, futuristic. That's gonna crush me. Interesting. I stood right into that. Oh well. Woo! Got the last crystal. Remember when DVDs had bad games on them? Oh, yes. I definitely remember that. Oh, I thought you could fool me, huh? Nice try, pal. Please tell me that's all the boxes. Whew. That's how we do it. And unfortunately, this is the last time you'll witness the crash dance. At least in this game, so savor it. Truly magnificent.
Yes! My plan is nearly complete, and I have you, Crash Bandicoot, to thank for it. Engine? What's happening? What's that? Is he stealing our signal?
Crash! Cortex isn't going to use the crystals to contain the planet's energy. He's going to harness the force and use it to power the super Cortex vortex he has built on his space station. One blast of the ray will cover the entire world, turning everyone into Cortex's mindless slaves. Crash, don't let him have those crystals!
Engine, you fool! She's telling him everything! Ah, yes. We're back now. Pardon the, interruption. Crash, bring me...
Alright, well, I think we know what we gotta do. You'll notice that we're at 97%, but we go into our menu, we have all 42 gems and all 25 crystals. Just one thing stands in our way. The game's final boss, Dr. Neo Cortex. Now, I hope you're ready for an intense struggle of using the jetpack, because jetpacks are sweet, but get ready, because this challenge will require all of our skills. Everything we've learned, even though, you know, this doesn't actually use anything that we have been learning. But yeah, this is the fight. This is the whole thing. It's a chase sequence. Ugh. You can't even die unless you let Cortex reach the end of the track, which I think I'm about to do. I like how he just waits for us. He almost made it, but that's the fight.
No!
That's the whole thing.
You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot!
It sucks. I hate that fight so much.
Crash, what do you suppose happened to Cortex? And what about the Cortex vortex? It's still up there.
So yeah, this is the ending that you get if you don't collect everything. But yeah, that fight is just a glorified chase sequence. It is so underwhelming and disappointing. And like, it wouldn't even be that hard to make that fight sweet. You know what you do? You take what the fight was in the first Crash Bandicoot, you know, where you were standing on Cortex's blimp, and you spun attack, and you dodged his laser blasts, and spun attack laser blasts. Why not just do that, but with jetpacks in space? Like, you could even, just literally even the same thing. Just have him fire the shots directly at you, have some shots, like, travel across the stage, and then just spin attack the green ones back. You could even have him, like, I don't know, shoot meteors, and you gotta dodge the meteor pieces. Like, that fight sounds sweet! But no, we had that. Awesome. At least it's not the meat circus from Psychonauts. That stage was not fun. I agree with that. It is not the meat circus, because at least that was, you know, easy and quick. The meat circus was neither of those things. Also, everyone who has not played Psychonauts is going to wonder, meat circus, and are immediately very concerned, but that just means they haven't played Psychonauts, which is a crime. But that is the end. Not quite. We still need to get 100%, which we do after the credits roll. I did a Let's Play of Psychonauts and quit the game. Just got too frustrated. That's understandable. Psychonauts is a good game, but it's like... a lot of Psychonauts is carried by just the idea and the charm of it, which, you know, those things can get you pretty far in a game, but sometimes... Never returning until Psychonauts 2 comes out. That's supposed to come out this year, isn't it? I need to go back and play the rest of Psychonauts. Really enjoyed it. Psychonauts is good. I can say that it is good. Alright, so now we're sent back here. Oops. As you can see, we were at 100% in that brief moment that I checked the pause screen.
You have acquired all of the gems. Incredible! Crystals are not only means of harnessing planetary energy, right? The gems have that ability as well. And with them, I can destroy the Cortex Vortex forever. Let me walk you to my completed laser installation.
Alright. So yeah, now we can just go through the top warp to reach Embryo's laser. There is one thing I wanted to show off before we do that. And it's not just the fact that we have 100% now, but if you hold the triangle button while you're changing floors, you can refight previous bosses. Yo, this is new for me, never seen this part. Oh, you're in for a treat. But yeah, you can refight bosses if you want. It's definitely something that's easier to do in Crash 1 and Crash 3, but, you know, it's still here in Crash 2. That's also some... oh, hold on. Woo! It's also something they put into the Insane Trilogy version of Crash 2, where it's just easier to refight bosses, but, you know, you can still do it in the original version. That's the important thing. Ripperoo, best boss. In this game or in Crash 1? I like the Ripperoo fight concept in Crash 2, but it's just, once you know where to stand in that fight, it's pretty straightforward. Then again, you know, boss fights have never, until Crash 4, have really never been the series' strong suit. But yeah, Tiny gets to lose again. There he goes. Alright, but enough of that. It's time to get our prize for 100%.
We are ready, Crash. Would you like to do the honors?
And there goes the Cortex Vortex. And in no possible way will that result in an issue that will result in a sequel. No, sir. Definitely not at all. But yeah, that's that's Crash 2. Overall, it took a little longer than Crash 1, actually a significant amount longer, but that's because I didn't go for 100% in Crash 1, because going for 100% in Crash 1 is not fun. Nope, not one little bit. But yeah, that's gonna have to be an adventure for another time. So, thank you for stopping by, everybody. Again, this went pretty smoothly. I think I actually died less in this one than I did in Crash 1, and I was going for 100% in this one, so that just goes to show, you know, how much better the control and game feel is. So, as I said at the top of this, if you've never played a Crash Bandicoot game, definitely start with 2 or 3, because Crash 1 is just old. I mean, if you have the Insane Trilogy version, you know, that version is the best version of Crash 1 to play, so, you know, yeah. If you'd like to stay up to date on the things that I do, I have both a Twitter and a Discord that you can see on my information panels. Have you ever played the original Spyro trilogies? Yes! Very much so. Those were also a very important part of my childhood. I'll have to play through those for you, eventually. But not right now. Right now is Crash's 25th anniversary, so he gets the spotlight for now. But don't worry, I'll take care of them at some point. But yeah, oh. Well, that's not ominous at all. So on that sinister note, this is the Defender. I wish I had something clever and intelligent to say here, because normally that's how I like to end these kind of things, you know, with just some kind of witty saying or something that relates to what has happened, or, you know, some kind of heartfelt thing, but don't have anything like that. Oh well. I guess something will just hit me eventually.
Crash Bandicoot 2. Cortex Strikes Back.
Until we meet again.
Press start to begin.
Don't do that, but also, farewell.